Good morning, students. So today we will learn about, we're going to start new chapter, chapter number 3, atoms and molecules. This chapter is quite interesting. We're going to learn about valencies, and this is going to be very much fun and interesting topic. So far we have discussed about matter, types of matter, then we have done physical classification, solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and Bose, Einstein, condensate. Then we have discussed the second chapter regarding the chemical composition. But when you talk about matter, like anything like human body or pen, pencil, any matter, river, water, air. So ultimately this matter is made of particles. Now we will discuss what particles are there. So early ancient, we can say in ancient times, Indian philosophers, Greek philosophers, they had their own observations and we can say hypothetical or we can say thinking. So like Indian philosopher Maharishi Kannad, he stated that Maharishi Kannad he stated that if you go on dividing a matter, for example, this is a pen. If you divide, it will become half. Again, if you divide, again it will half. Like for example, you might be playing in school like chalk. If you divide the chalk, if you break the chalk, it will become half. Then again, if you divide, again if you divide, then it becomes small. So it is not able to divide. But still, it can be broken by hammer. Okay. But if you are breaking a matter like this board or a brick of the wall, if you go on dividing, ultimately there would be some point it won't be able to divide. So this was the thinking of Maharishi Kannad, that if you go on dividing a matter, at some point it won't be able to divide. You won't be able to divide, and that smallest thing would be called as a Pramanu. Pramanu, which is a Hindi word, or we can say in English we call it as atom. So later Greek Democritus named it as an atom. This was one we can say observation or we can say hypothesis. Later on, another Indian philosopher named Pakudakatayam. He stated that this kind of particles won't be, we can say, won't be exist individually. Like if they would be in combination with the other particles. This Pakudakatayam, he stated that if the particles which are very small, this if you go in a dividing matter, at certain point you will get a small particle which is not seen over naked eyes, but which is known as Pramanu according to Maharishi Kannad. But according to Pakudakatayam, he stated this small particle, we call it as a small particle or Pramanu or atom, but this would not be, we can say, existing alone. It would be combining with other particles and we can say will be existing. This was just we can say thinking, we can say, or hypothesis. This was their thinking. There was no any experimental observation. There was no such thing. So all this later then Greek philosopher Democritus and Leucippus, they told this smallest matter which is not divided. In Greek they term it as an atom, which means indivisible. According to them, if we go on dividing matter, so that matter would be smallest thing which can't be divided further. So in Greek, the Democritus named that particle as an atom, because atom means indivisible. Right now, right now in these situations, modern science, we know that atom is further, we can say, made up of small particles, subatomic particles like electrons, protons and neutrons, which we're going to talk about. But at that time they were thinking that atom is not divisible, then there would not be any smaller particle. Okay, so as the science evolves, more research is done, so they are finding new particles. Right now we are having a knowledge about electrons, protons and neutrons, which we're going to talk about. Another, they are talking about the subatomic particles. But at that time they thought atom, if there is a particle very much small, it won't be divided. So they name it as a indivisible particle, which is known as atom in Greek language. So by 80, all this theory was done, but by the end of 18th century, yeah, I think Antoine Lavoisier, Antoine Lavoisier, Antoine Lavoisier, he formed Antoine L. Lavoisier, French scientist. Lavoisier. You know, dear students, whenever there is a vowel before an R, it is not pronounced Lavoisier. They don't say Lavoisier, they say Lavoisier. So, Antoine Lavoisier is a French chemist and he had done very much contribution science in field of science. So, he gave, we can say, many laws of combination. So first he gave the first law he was giving, law of conservation of mass. Let's talk about that. Law of conservation of mass. Okay, two laws. First we are going to talk about law of conservation of mass. So according to law of conservation of mass, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed, or we can say mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. This was about the, we can say, this was about the law given by Antoine Lavoisier. If, for example, in experiment, mass before experiment equal to mass after experiment. So, for example, if we have NaCl, NaOH plus HCl, you get NaCl plus H2. This is a simple reaction. So whatever the mass of this compound, for example, there is one sodium, there would be one sodium. If there are two sodium, there would be two sodium in the product side. So in product side, product means the after reaction, and this is called reactant side. So according to this law of conservation of mass, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. Matter or mass can neither be created. Matter, or we can say mass. Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, so this is about the law of conservation of mass, or we can say law of conservation of mass. Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So, if during experiment, if you are taking one sodium atom, just for example, there is no one sodium atom. Obviously, there would be many millions of sodium atom will be there. Okay, so if you are taking any amount of mass, the mass will be same. Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Just take it this way. Mass can neither be created nor destroyed. Whatever it will be same. Before experiment and after experiment, the mass of the reactant and product would be same. Either it would be converted into different chemical substance. Chemical A is converted to chemical B, but the mass will ultimately remain same. So this was about the law of conservation of mass. Second law was law of conservation of constant proportion. So Antoine Lavoisier, along with other scientists like Joseph Brutus, he did we can say several experiments and stated a law, that is law of constant proportion, which we will talk about right now. Let me just erase this. So second law, Antoine Lavoisier, along with Antoine Lavoisier, and we can say Joseph Brutus Prost, gave another law, like law of constant proportion, or we can say fixed proportion. definite proportion. Constant, fixed, this all are synonyms. Constant, sometimes if you read fixed or definite proportion, okay, all are same. So according to this law, chemical substance or chemical compound in a chemical compound elements are always present in a definite or fixed proportion by mass. Law of constant proportion. Okay, law of constant proportion. So what they said in this law, that in a chemical substance or chemical compound, let me just tell you what are elements and compound. Elements are like nitrogen, sodium, hydrogen, oxygen. These are elements. Whatever you see in the periodic table, if you have seen the periodic table, the elements are this way. Carbon. But in compounds like H2O, how compounds form? By different combination of elements like H2O, CO2, NH3. Now understand what this law states. So this is compounds. First of all, understand elements are this, compounds are this. Compounds are formed by the different combination of elements, okay, and different combination of molecules. So in compounds like H2O, CO2, so in a chemical compound, this is a chemical compound, element would always present definite proportion by mass. What does this law states? That element would be present in a definite proportion by mass. Let's for example take H2O. In H2O, for example, it is, we have not come across the atomic mass, but let me give you an example. Hydrogen is having 1 atomic mass unit. Oxygen is having 16 atomic mass unit, which we will learn in this chapter later. Right now, just understand hydrogen is having 1 mass, oxygen is having 16 mass. Now in hydrogen, H2O molecule, there are 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. You can see 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Okay, so if there is, the ratio is 1 plus 1. As there are 2 hydrogen, so it will be 1 plus 1, 2. And what is the weight of oxygen? 16. So 2 is to 16 means how much? That is 1 is to 8, we can say. So this is a fixed proportion. It is not so like they are present fraction amount. This was the observation, and we can say the law of constant proportion says that in a chemical substance, the element which are present in a compound are present in a fixed we can say proportion of weight. They are having whole number of weight, like 2 is to 16. Then in the same way, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, ammonia, the elements are present in the fixed proportion. Like in H2O, it is present as 1 is to 8. 1 we can say 1 hydrogen and 8 we can say oxygen. So this was about a law of constant proportion. So what we have learned so far, atom is the, okay, define atom. So we can define as atom is the smallest particle of an element. Meaning of atom is indivisible. The smallest particle of an element is known as atom. And we have discussed about the Maharishi Kannad, we have discussed about the Pakuda Kadayam, and we have discussed about Democritus. Democritus named as an atom. Then Antoine Lavoisier by the 18th century, all this was discussed. So he studied and gave law of conservation of mass. Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, so according to which what the mass of before experiment is equal to mass after experiment. Okay, because we can't destroy or create the mass. If you have given the 100 gram of mass in reactant side, we should get 100 gram of mass in the product side. So this was about the conservation of mass. And when we talk about law of constant proportion, which is given by Antoine Lavoisier along with the Joseph Protus, which says that in a chemical compound, chemical substance, the elements are present in a definite proportion by mass. So like water is having 1:8 by mass. So whenever oxygen and hydrogen are reacting, they will be react and forming water. So they will be forming in water they will having a 1/8% of, we can say, mass. Then there are so many examples also which we are going to discuss today. This is tomorrow we will discuss about Dalton's atomic theory. What is Dalton's theory? So today's session is over, and if you are in doubt, you can ask me.